Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to a brand new video. I really can't believe I've started a video looking like this. I'm in absolute state, I know. I've not long got out the shower. We are busy getting things together because tomorrow Avery's having her Botox under general anaesthetic. I need to be at Bristol Children's Hospital at 7:30 in the morning. Josh also starts a brand new job tomorrow, so the option of him having the day off to come with us so that we could all drive up there was gone. So I'm catching the train, and the train leaves at 5 in the morning. So we need to be up and out very, very early tomorrow. The boys are actually staying at my brother-in-law's house tonight just so that they're already there in the morning, so that we don't need to wake them up early in the morning. The boys are already there. Josh has just taken them now. Avery has fallen asleep in her pea pod, so I am just going to leave her like that for now. She's just had a bath and she fell asleep while I was brushing her hair. So I've popped her in her pea pod and I'm going to leave her there for a little bit because Avery's not allowed to eat anything beyond 2:30 in the morning. So I'm trying to hold off on her feed just a little bit, just so that she's had her feed a little bit later in the evening. Hopefully she'll be a little bit less hungry in the morning. Here she is, fast asleep. She's just had a bath, so she's all nice and clean. Very, very tired. Anyway, if you haven't kind of caught up on any of my older videos, or if you're new, hi. Oh, I've gone very, very red in this lighting all of a sudden. I'm not this red in real life. I don't know what's going on with the lighting. That's a little bit better. So yeah, Avery's having Botox. She has cerebral palsy, and because of that cerebral palsy, she has very high tone in her legs mostly, and she also has dystonia, which affects her arms a lot. So Avery is having a little bit of Botox. At the moment it is for her left leg, which is more affected by the tone. She can't fully straighten that leg at the moment. She's also having a little bit sort of here and on the other side to see if it helps to combat the stiffness caused by the dystonia in her arms. Avery's tone isn't so bad in her arms, however her arms are always very tight when she's awake, and that is because she's dystonic. But we know it's dystonia because when she's asleep she can actually lift her arms all the way up to over her head, which she can't do while she's awake, just because she is always so tense because of the dystonia and the spasms. So yeah, she's having this Botox and she is having it under general anaesthetic, so it won't be painful for her. We had the option to do awake Botox, but full disclosure, I have had Botox in the past. It was a good few years ago now, but I had a little bit of Botox in my forehead, and it's uncomfortable, and we didn't want to put Avery through that while she was awake. So she is going under general anaesthetic, so we are going to pretty much be there all day. We have to be there at 7:30. She'll go through the kind of pre-op assessments and whatnot. They will kind of decide where she is on the list based on priorities and who else is in. She'll go down for the Botox, and then she'll come to, and when they're happy with how she's woken up and if she's kind of taking her feeds fine again, they will discharge her the same day. That is the plan. So the boys are going to be with my brother and sister-in-law tomorrow. They do have kickboxing tomorrow night, so they're going to be taking them to that for us too. Once again, absolute godsends, I've said it before. But yeah, so that is the plan. I'm not looking forward to it because Avery has just been a little bit miserable the last couple of days. Not miserable, just a bit high maintenance, a little bit testy. She wants what she wants, and what she wants is to be in front of the TV. We've been going out a little bit more often the last couple of days because over the weekend it's actually been kind of our first weekend where the world's been our oyster, and we've decided to explore a little bit. We also took the boys to laser tag for Zach's birthday, which he enjoyed, by the way. But yeah, we just had a nice kind of weekend, just out and about doing a few bits and bobs. Avery is also now entitled to a Motability vehicle now that she is 3. So we actually ordered that this weekend too, which is very exciting. We're going to be getting a van, an 8-seater passenger van, because that was really our only option to fit our whole family in and be able to take Avery's pushchair with us anywhere, because at the moment if all 6 of us are wanting to go out. We can't take Avery's pushchair because it's an adapted stroller. It doesn't fold down fully and it's very, very bulky. And also thinking of the future, it is likely she will have a wheelchair at some point soon. An 8-seater or a van was really the only option to be able to go out as a family and be able to take what Avery needs. So we've ordered that this weekend. That's exciting. But back to the point, Avery was not so happy with being out of the house. She was a bit testy, angry, and perfectly fine as soon as we got her back home. So yeah, safe to say I'm not looking forward to how she's going to react to tomorrow, especially being on a train, especially being woken up very early, and especially not being able to eat. She's going to be angry, and I'm on my own because Josh is in work, but it'll be fine. Positive thinking. But so the train is at 5, so we're leaving here at 4:30. The train's at 5. I get there at 7, and then it's about half an hour walk from the train station to the hospital. So yeah, I'm gonna be tired as well. I've got a little packed lunch ready. All of Avery's meds are kind of lined up, ready to be packed. We don't need to worry too much about feed. I am gonna take a bottle, but she's not gonna be having full feeds tomorrow because she can't have anything until after the Botox. But yeah, I am going to crack on and get everything ready for the morning. I just wanted to pop on here and kind of intro this video. I'm probably just going to take my phone. Well, I am going to take my phone with me tomorrow, but I'm not going to take my camera. I'm just going to film some B-roll clips on my phone. And I guess I will catch up with you on Tuesday maybe. Good morning, it is the next day. I've been a busy bee this morning. Avery has a hospital appointment at 11:30 today, so I just wanted to make sure all of my afternoon jobs were done this morning, just so that I don't feel rushed when I get back. So Zach and Josh's lunch are ready for tomorrow. Eli's lunch is ready for when we get back. My washing is out. I have a chili in a slow cooker, which is starting to smell very nice. I've cleaned the kitchen. Avery's pretty much ready to go. Her feed is ready to go. So we're ready to go, and I feel pretty good for it actually, because it feels like I've got everything done, which is really nice. And now I've just got a little bit of time to sit and have a quick cup of tea and catch you guys up on yesterday. So it was a long day, let me tell you that. It was really long. I was up at 4 and we were out the door by 20 to 5 to get to the train station for 5. I'm not gonna lie, I was a little bit apprehensive going to Bristol on the train, mainly because Avery's pushchair with the special tomato seat in it doesn't fold down well. So I knew folding it down wasn't an option, especially when I was on my own. Josh started a new job yesterday, which is why he couldn't come with me. So yeah, I was a bit nervous, but I did arrange for special assistance on the way there, just in case I needed any help. So I got there with minutes to spare before the train left. There was somebody there to help me, show me where to go, and turns out the disabled seats were actually in first class, which was nice. We got to sit in first class, but now that I've seen it, I don't understand why people spend so much money on it. So the train journey there, Avery was an absolute dream. She barely made a peep. She didn't even need a ride pad. I think she was just so tired that she was just taking everything in. So we got there, arrived at Bristol Temple Meads, and then I needed to walk to the Children's Hospital. About a half an hour walk, and I did get lost. I did use my map on my phone, but I still got lost. Got there in the end though. I was about 5 minutes late, but that was fine. So we got there. Avery was still second on the list. Nurses did her obs, checked her in and whatnot. We saw the anaesthetist. I saw the orthopaedic surgeon, who is the same consultant Avery had seen about a year back. And another doctor, I think it was the registrar, I saw as well. Went through everything. Avery has her inoculations booked in for next week. I wanted to make sure that was okay. We needed to figure out her hydrocortisone because Avery is adrenal deficient. The plan was to do sick day rules for 24 hours after Avery went under anaesthetic, which is what we are in the middle of now. So she's having increased hydrocortisone just for 24 hours. Yeah, I went through the procedure. It was obviously a relatively minor procedure. The only reason Avery was going under general anaesthetic is because she's so small, she can't really communicate her pain with us other than just crying, and I just didn't want to have her feel any pain. So I requested that she went to sleep with the gas and then had a cannula fitted once she was already asleep. So again, just to try and minimise as much pain as possible. Avery stayed second on the list, which was great, and she actually went down within a couple of hours of being there, which was great. So they drew little arrows where she was going to be having the Botox. The plan was for her to have a little bit in her pectoral muscles and then some in her left hamstring. However, since that consultation a year ago with the orthopaedic surgeon, Avery's right leg has started to get tense as well. So I did ask them, if you have any left, can you please pop a little bit in the right leg? And they agreed with that. The priority was the arms and the left leg, but they did say if they had any left, they would do the right leg as well. So we went down. Avery went to sleep perfectly fine with the gas. She didn't get fussy. She just drifted off to sleep. It was very peaceful, or it looked very peaceful. I gave her a kiss on the head and I went for a little bit of fresh air, went for a wander. The procedure took about half an hour. And then I was called into recovery, and Avery was a little bit out of it, but she came to very, very quickly. They were all quite happy with her. And then because all of that was done so quickly, Josh still hadn't finished work at this point, and the plan was for him to come and get me when he was done with work, but we would have been waiting around for hours. So I actually decided to book a train back. Avery had to stay for another 2 hours post anaesthetic, just to minimise risk of infection, make sure she was okay, make sure she was feeding and everything properly. She had a feed before we left and she seemed fine. She did start to get a little bit teasy before we left. I think she was just getting bored. So I booked the train back. We walked to the train station, which was a much easier walk than trying to get to the hospital. What I did do actually on the way back is I made sure that the map avoided steps, because I think that's kind of where I went wrong on the way to the hospital. So I got back to the train station. The train we had to catch there and the train back was a one-stop train, so we had to stop in Bristol Parkway to then catch the train back to where we are. The train from Bristol Temple Meads to Parkway was perfectly fine. The train from Bristol Parkway was very, very delayed. Turns out there was an accident on the line and I ended up having to catch the next train, which was over an hour later. So I was kind of stuck at the train station for over an hour. It was very frustrating. Avery was really, really teasy. And then on the train from Bristol Parkway, all of the passengers had put their luggage in the disabled section, in the disabled area where you're supposed to park wheelchairs. Which again was very frustrating. So for the most part of that journey, I ended up just kind of tucking Avery wherever I could fit her and standing with her. And she got very fussy, so I did have to take her out. Now that was a little bit risky. I did struggle with my balance a little bit, but we managed fine. I fed her on the train, which was perfectly fine, but then to top off a very long day, Avery's G-tube then fell out. It must have been after her feed, like directly after her feed, because there was nothing on her clothes, there was no kind of mess anywhere. I just noticed that her G-tube was no longer in her stomach. Now, oddly enough, I decided not to pack Avery's emergency G-tube kit, but what I did do, because you know, you never go completely unprepared. What I did do is I packed a couple of stoma stoppers in Avery's pushchair, so thank goodness for that. So I managed to get a 12 French stoma stopper in her straight away. It went in perfectly fine, and we were able to just pop a new G-tube in when we got back. The hole hadn't closed over at all, but that could have been so much worse had I have not had the stoma stoppers with me. But yeah, we got back just after 5 o'clock in the evening. My brother and sister-in-law had taken the boys to kickboxing for us. Once again, absolute godsends. They've been brilliant. They've been so helpful. They brought the boys back to us yesterday evening, and then we all got some very much needed shut-eye. So yeah, it was a very, very long day, but in terms of the Botox, I think it went very, very smoothly. The effects are not working yet, but we knew that. It takes about 3 or so days for the Botox to actually start working on the muscles. Avery is still quite tense, but then she is probably still quite sore too. Now, this obviously isn't a permanent solution. We're going to have a follow-up with the orthopedic surgeon in about 3 months' time just to see how she got on with the effects of the Botox, but after 3 months it will probably start to wear off. But at that point, it's kind of when we decide if it's something we would like to continue to do, or if we find that, you know, all of the effort and her going through all of that was really worth the effects. Now, Avery's development has come on leaps and bounds in the last few weeks alone, as we all know, since she hasn't been coughing and been poorly. She's been doing amazing with lifting her head. What I did notice yesterday is she kept trying to suckle on my hand. She kept kind of reaching for it with her mouth, moving her head towards my hand every time I moved it away. Eventually, my hands were clean obviously, but eventually she did, like I did kind of let her get to my hand, and she was suckling on it, which was really, really nice, because that's just not something I've seen her do. Maybe I've seen it once or twice in the last 3 years, but it was really, really nice to see that. So I am really hoping that this Botox does something and just gives her the ability to get a little bit of use in her arms and be able to straighten her legs out a little bit. Ultimately, the main reason we're doing it is to try and improve her posture. So we'll see if that happens. But anyway, it was a very long day, but it all went fine. We have another hospital appointment today, and then we actually have a couple of days where we don't have hospital appointments, which I'm quite relieved about. Thursday, my brother-in-law and possibly my sister-in-law as well are getting their first lot of gastrostomy training. Tomorrow I have a nothing day, which is nice. I have no appointments. I think I'm going to do a little bit of baking because we do have kickboxing tomorrow night, so I might do a little bit of baking. But yeah, then we have another hospital appointment on Friday, so it's quite a busy week. But everyone's good. Avery's good. I've just left her for a minute watching Mr. Bean, which she's quite happy doing. I think honestly that's all she wanted to do yesterday, and that's why she started getting fussy. But I'll take you in to see her, just so you can say hello. There's my happy little girlie. Hi Puddin, have you kicked your sockies off? Have you kicked your sockies off? So yeah, arms are still fairly, actually to be fair, they're quite okay at the moment, but she is quite relaxed. That is not bad, to be fair. The Botox injection was just here, so hopefully it will help with this. This is kind of a trial to see if it works on the dystonia. Still quite stiff, but we're not expecting any effects yet. Legs still very, very stiff. Your legs are still very stiff, aren't they? But you have a hospital appointment, don't you? Today is just peg clinic. New for us, we never had peg clinic in Cornwall, did we? It'd be nice to have a chat with them. They will be amused to hear that you managed to get rid of another G-tube yesterday. Hey, Puddin? Yeah? We're gonna go to hospital. Are we gonna go to hospital? Hey? Morning, it is Wednesday, and as I said, I'm gonna do a little bit of baking today. I'm gonna make white chocolate and almond cookies. You might remember a while back I made white chocolate and almond blondies. You might be able to hear Avery and Eli in the living room shouting at each other. But yeah, I made white chocolate and almond blondies, and I even made a blog post about them because they were really, really good. Definitely very high in calorie, but really, really good. So that's inspired me to try them in a cookie form. I like to take bakes to kickboxing with us. I don't plan to do it every week, but so far, aside from last week when I made Zach's birthday cake, I have done it every week. I may have to take another break next week because baking just isn't as cheap as it used to be anymore. But these are all of my ingredients. So I've taken the kind of inspiration from a recipe for cookies I found online. I think it was on Sally's Baking Addiction. And I've kind of made it my own. So in here I have 200 grams of plain flour. I think there's also a teaspoon of baking powder, not baking powder, sorry, bicarbonate of soda. There's also about a teaspoon to 2 teaspoons of corn flour and a pinch of salt. I have 100 grams of regular sugar. I think that's about 170 grams of melted butter, minus maybe a little bit because it kind of exploded in the microwave and I don't know how much I've lost. I've got 1 egg and 1 egg yolk. Those are, I think, about medium size. 150 grams of soft light brown sugar. And then I have about 80 grams of ground almonds. And then this is where the goodness is. I've got about 200 grams of white chocolate, just chopped. This honestly is the cheapest of the cheap from the supermarket. This is Miss Molly's chocolate from Tesco. And then I've got about 60-ish grams of blanched almonds, and I've also roughly chopped them. Yeah, I suppose you could use sliced almonds that come in the pack, but I quite like the sort of organicness and rustic look of the chopped up almonds because they're all different sizes, and this will add some nice crunch to the cookies as well. So these do have to chill in the fridge for about 2 to 3 hours, so I plan to make up the dough now. Oh, I almost forgot. I've also got the last of my vanilla. Probably about a teaspoon in there, maybe slightly more. But yeah, they've got to chill for 2 to 3 hours, so I plan to make the batter dough now, and then I will bake them off after I've fed Avery this afternoon, and hopefully they will cool down just in time to be able to pack them up and take them to kickboxing this evening. So I think what I'm going to do is have Eli help me mix the batter. He didn't help with the last couple of bakes and he's a little bit disjointed about it, so I'm going to let him help me make the dough. Botox update, guys. So we are now 2 days in and I'm not feeling a massive difference yet. Her arms are still a bit tense, her legs are still a bit tense. Can I get a bit more like straightness out of it? Maybe. It doesn't seem to be causing her any pain, which is good. Actually, do you know what, to be fair, I can get the leg fairly straight. Not completely straight, but that's definitely better than she's had it before. This leg I can get completely straight, and there is a little bit of resistance, but that could just be dystonia. When she sat naturally, the left leg is still bent. I'm hoping with some regular stretches and lots of time in the stander, maybe we can get to a point where it's not quite as bent when she's relaxed. Obviously the Botox won't have done anything about her overall kind of dystonic patterns, so she's still going to extend, but the leg definitely has a little bit more give in it. I wouldn't say, you know, she can straighten it out completely. I wouldn't say the tone is completely gone, but there's a little bit of improvement. There's still time for it to improve yet as well. Like I said, we're only 2 days in. It can take much longer than that for the Botox to take effect. I think, don't quote me on this, but I think around 3 to 4 days is when you kind of will be able to tell the actual effects of the Botox. Her arms are still quite tense. Again, not causing her any pain, which is good. It just makes you laugh, doesn't it? The arms really was more of a test, just more of a trial, just to see if it did help with the dystonia at all. She's not giving me as much resistance, which is nice, but it's difficult to tell because I don't really know kind of how relaxed she is. The resistance is the dystonia, not the tone. So it could just be that she's not as dystonic in her arms, or it could be that the Botox has helped relieve some of that dystonia in her arms, which is good. Is that funny? Is that funny? Is that funny? Wee. Wee. So yeah, we're seeing some effects. It's definitely helping a little bit, but it's not completely gotten rid of the tone, and there is still some resistance there, but there's a little bit of a difference, which is nice. So yeah, the plan is regular stretches. The annoying thing is the fact that we don't really have any good sort of postural support seats for her at the moment. All we've got is the P-Pod and the Special Tomato. We still haven't heard from the physio. We have heard from the OT. She has her first assessment coming up soon, which is good. So yeah, that's quite annoying because it means that we can't get her kind of sat in a good postural position in a piece of equipment. We do have the stander still though, so the plan is to just get her in her stander a good 5 days a week, hopefully for an hour at a time if she will tolerate it. There is times when she does tolerate that, so that is good. I didn't put her in it yesterday, just because I thought I would give her a full sort of 24 hours, a bit longer, to make sure she wasn't still sore from the injections. Today we're going to get back to it, aren't we? We're going to get you in your stander, and hopefully the stander will do a good job then of stretching this leg out even further, just to get really good range of motion in it while she's got the ability to do that, because obviously Botox isn't permanent, it will wear off eventually, and the tone, you know, it won't cure the tone, that tone will come back. But if we've used this time to really stretch out those muscles, get good range of motion in the leg, hopefully it will just prevent it from getting any worse. And then I guess we'll just see the improvement and see if the Botox is going to be worth it. Worth doing it again. Hey, Pudding? No, Pudding. Anyway, it is nearly her feed time, so the plan is get fed, let your food settle a little bit, and then we will get you in your stander and start putting that leg to work. What do you think, baby girl? Now, if only there was an injection that helped her hold her head up. That would be lovely. But sadly that's not the case, so we're just gonna have to work very hard to keep your head up, aren't we? Hey? Is that you proving a point? Is that you proving a point that you don't want to work very hard? Good girl, that's better. That's better. Morning guys, it's Thursday. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law have their G-tube training soon. So my job for this morning, before that happens, is to try and whiz around the house and clean it a little bit, because Avery has a hospital appointment tomorrow, so I'm not really going to have time to do it then. However, it's Father's Day this Sunday, and I wanted to show you the bits that I picked up for Josh for Father's Day from the kids. So the first one, and it actually does come in this box, which I think is really lovely, it saves me unwrapping, is just an entire box full of Kinder chocolate. So I've just neatened it up a little bit. So in this box you actually get 6 regular Kinder Buenos, you get 1 white chocolate Kinder Bueno, there are 8 of these little Kinder chocolate bars, and 5 of these little what are they called, Happy Hippo, Kinder Happy Hippos. And it wasn't too expensive as well, so really quite impressed with that. And I know Josh will love it because he loves Kinder chocolate. Last year for his birthday I actually made him a Kinder cheesecake, which he loved, but it was very, very sickly. And then the other thing that I picked him up, this one was actually a last minute buy. I wasn't going to get this because I thought the chocolate's probably enough for Father's Day, but I saw this on Facebook from a little independent website, and I saw it and I just thought it was perfect for him. So I probably spent way too much money on it for what it's worth, but it was £30, and I do actually need to put it together because if I hand it to Josh like this, he's not going to have any idea what it is either. There we are, that is what it is. Not that you can really see against the white background. There we go, that's a little bit better. So it's this little stand, and this will actually hold his Xbox controller and his headset, and it says Dad by day, gamer by night, and it actually lights up. So it comes with this little USB port, and it lights up, and it does come with a remote control, so it can turn all different colours. And at the moment his headset and controller just kind of get thrown in a basket when he's not playing on the Xbox, which is, by the way, pretty much every night. That's kind of his downtime. When I'm feeding Avery, he comes up and plays on his Xbox. So I thought he would really appreciate this, to have somewhere proper to put his headset and his controller. And I just think it looks really nice, and I thought it was a really nice gift idea. There we go, I just wanted to get the full effect. So there, somewhere nice to hold his Xbox bits, and a nice little gift from the kids, I think. So that is his Father's Day gift, and then I've also got him a card for the kids to write out. I did moonpig for my dad this year because obviously we're quite far away from each other, and I get a bit nervous sending cards in the post in case they don't get there. So I actually bought my dad a nice personalised card, and also a mug with just nice pictures of my dad with the kids and me from Moonpig. So that's going straight to him. I think that gets to him on Saturday. So yeah, that is Father's Day for me covered. I know Josh has already ordered something to be sent straight to his dad. It's a little bit of a shame that I won't get to see my dad on Father's Day. I normally do, but my mum and dad have actually planned their first visit. And we did buy an airbed. I will show you a little bit closer to the time, but I invested in a really, really decent airbed so that they've got somewhere comfortable to sleep. And I'm really excited for them to come and visit. And we have a couple of trips up there planned in August, and I also think we are trying to plan to go and spend a night with Josh's mum and dad as well, just so that we can see everyone over the summer. I think if we can try and aim for maybe a trip to either place, maybe once in the summer, once around Christmas time maybe, that would be good. Because I do still want to make sure that we see them as much as we can. But yeah, enough of my rambling. I just wanted to show you them bits, and I am going to crack on and get the house clean. I've got about an hour before my brother-in-law is going to be coming over, and the training begins. Oh, quick update actually in terms of Avery's Botox. I have not seen much change this morning. I'm definitely noticing the looseness in her arms. Her leg, I think there's a bit of improvement. It is still a bit tight. There is some improvement though. What I did last night is I put, normally her gaiters, I think I've shown you them before, but the left gaiter has a slight bend in it to accommodate for the bend in her leg. I actually put the straight gaiter on her left leg last night just to see if I could try and stretch it out that little bit further. She didn't get upset when she woke up, so I know it wasn't hurting her or anything. But yeah, nothing really to update there. Morning guys, it's Friday. We just got back from the school run, didn't we? Weather is miserable, showers all day. And we are about to get ready to go to another hospital appointment. So Avery's seeing the respiratory specialist today. Again, this is another thing that we didn't get access to in Cornwall. The referrals were made, but we just never ended up seeing a respiratory specialist. So it's nice to know that it's something that she's got quickly. The thing we're struggling the most with at the moment is the bed, for one. I think what we're going to end up doing is buying a single bed, just so we can at least get her sleep system in it. And we'll just wait for the specialised bed. Obviously we need the specialised bed, one because of the tilt, we need her on an incline because of her reflux, and two, our backs. We need something we can raise and lower because our backs will end up being destroyed very soon. The bed we had in Cornwall, we kept it at a slightly higher level just so it didn't ruin our backs every time we picked her up and put her down. But anyway, yeah, that's taken a while, and I know the reasons why. It's to do with risk assessments. There was an incident over a year ago, I remember it happening. I'm surprised it's taken this long for them to start doing anything about it, but because they have only now authorised one bed for safe use, that particular bed isn't funded where we are, so they're in a little bit of a red tape area and they're trying to sort it out. So we're not the only ones that are dealing with this issue right now. The nurse was trying to source a cot from the hospital, however they've said it can't go upstairs. If it does, they would have to pay the supplier to dismantle it and put it back up, and they don't know if that can be done, and yada yada yada. Long story short, it's going to take a while for anything to get sorted, so we are looking into just buying a single bed as a temporary solution to get her sleep system in it so that we don't waste all of the Botox effects. Speaking of Botox, once again, I haven't seen much of a difference from when I last reported. I'm feeling a little bit more looseness, but nothing to, you know, rave about at the moment. So yeah, that's that. One thing I will say though is I'm pretty certain Avery's getting sick. She started ticking again last night. Josh and I think she had a seizure. All of her limbs were twitching, however it only lasted 40 seconds. It wasn't long enough for us to kind of panic and feel the need to call an ambulance. It stopped very, very quickly, and she didn't go into kind of like the state where, you know, she got like her eyes start to twitch and we start to get worried. It happened very quickly, but we're pretty convinced it was a seizure. But yeah, she's having the tics, and then this morning she choked on her reflux a little bit, and her reflux has been quite a bit worse over the last couple of days, so pretty certain she's getting sick. So watch this space. I am going to close this video out here. Let's all hope that she's not sick in the next vlog. But with that said, I hope you've enjoyed this one and got a little bit of insight into the Botox process, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye guys. Say bye bye. Bye bye.